So in this video, I am working through my 100 modern quilt blocks, the Tula Pink City Sampler. It's January of 2025. I am following along with Pat Sloan, who is doing 10 months. So she's going through October. And like Pat, I'm only doing 70 out of the 100. There's multiple quilts in the back. Some call for 70, some call for 100. So I have two that I'm going to consider. This one and this one. So both do require less than the 100 that are in the book. As you can tell, I have lots marked. I did a count. I actually have 75 marked, which is okay. I don't mind having extras. So I am working through my first block, and that starting picture showed my Tula collection. I had a big bin, and figured just go ahead and start breaking it down. So the first one does require some fussy cutting. So I will be using the Cheshire. I'm not going to be able to say that word right. The cat from Alice in Wonderland. He will be there. And then I am just following suit. I pulled that from a jelly roll. Pulled that from some True Colors. I'm not exactly sure. Where's this one coming from? Something Garden. And then this one is from the same collection. So I did want to keep a couple pieces together, even though they all mix and match quite nicely. And then that's going to go up into the little corners. Okay, so everything has been cut. I did fussy cut. I did focus on the colors, especially here on these pieces. So either the lime will go towards the centers or the purples. We'll see. And then now it's actually making me rethink what I did. So there's that. But see how that purple's up there? I don't really... Originally, I was going to put it in the middle. And then I was going to put the dark. But now I am totally second-guessing that. Because I did not pay attention to the way that those lined up. So if it went... So ideally... Well, not ideally. The way the pattern is written, the dark actually frames those. But kind of goes like that. And in the pattern, it does show light, medium, dark. Light, medium, dark. But looking here, it makes me almost want to flip-flop that around to match. So when it lays next to it, but then it's not actually going to touch because of those green parts. It's actually going to be like that and framed separately. So I guess I don't have to be as picky and just follow suit with the way it is pictured. I would just have to be mindful that they're at least the same. Oh yeah, because see, now it's just completely blocking it. All right. This is where I have issues when the pattern is so forgiving and you can actually, choose your own fabrics and it's not a kit. And this is what drives me crazy, and I have a really hard time with, is picking my own fabrics and placements. And so I do, a lot of the time, find a kit or find a pattern that says exactly, you know, a black, a blue, a blue, a green. But I need to branch out of that a little, and that's why doing this block of the month for this year is on my goal list. It's cute. Here is block 1, all worked up. Super cute, super small pieces. Normally I do not sew with stuff that is a 1-inch cut, but to make these blocks, I guess I gotta follow the patterns. Go ahead and trim us up here. Didn't bring the spinny part, but that's okay. It is, so I totally love greens and purples together. So this is making me very happy for our first block of 70, 75 coming. Cute. I mean, it's a little, but hey, that happens. I did not starch. That could be it too. With working with such small pieces, I probably should have, but that's okay. We are human. And if I focused on making it 100% perfect, then I wouldn't enjoy it as much. And to me, this is my therapy. This is my me time. This is, I sew because I love it, not because I'm a perfectionist. So something like that is okay. Maybe I sneezed. Maybe I looked at the TV. I do binge watch, you know, seasons while I sew. So I'm wondering if that's what happened there. I probably looked up. This one's pretty straight. That one's pretty straight. That one's a little, but also stilettos. And I have one and I just don't use it. And I bet you if I did, I probably could have solved that. I have an actual one. I don't know where. So something like this where 1/2 is my Jack the Ripper. The other half is a stiletto. So as you're piecing these teeny tiny little pieces, I could have held it together, which is so weird because see, that's nice and straight. It's right here. I see it. That's where I went off. I didn't line that up, but oh well. Maybe I could go back in here and fix it. But yeah, using a stiletto on that last, you know, little bit as it's running through the machine can always help. But it's okay. It's block 1. 74 more to go. Super cute. So here it is. Side by side. That's hers. So number 3 out of the book. And that's mine. So I did use hers as my guide. I used a focus. I used an accent. And then I kept true to the light, medium, dark. I'm quite happy with it. So block 2 of the ones I've marked is actually number 4. So I found, well, me and my 7-year-old, we decided on the raccoon. And I'm going to play with the floral since it's a scrap and it's cut right through there. I thought maybe I could work with that. And then I'll keep that color going. That'll be my dark and that'll be my corners. Hopefully, if not, I don't know, maybe a pink. Do I have a pink dot? Nope, I have a purple dot. I'm not right where I'm standing. I'm not actually seeing a pink dot there in any of these pieces. I am trying to work through some scraps, but I don't know. We'll see. So I'm actually really liking this raccoon. Super cute. I was using scraps. So for example, on this piece, because it wasn't cut, you know, straight, I was able to take one of those, used my ruler, lined up the exact same spot, and was able to just fussy cut it out of there 4 times. The corners, I originally thought of doing it where they all go up, but since the rose is circling around, I figured I would let the corners circle around. I'm really liking this purple as the dark. These are the rulers I'm using, the little 3.5s and the little 2.5s. Again, here is the block. So here is my block 2, which is actually number 4 in the book. Go ahead and check. Or squaring up if need be, just a little bit, couple hairs here and there. Not bad at all. I remembered my spinny this time. I move this trio around a lot, actually. I use it to like carry the blocks to one side of the room. I use it to press next to the machine. Completely hit or miss. Sorry about my arms there. The weather has officially dropped and I'm freezing. But I don't like turning the heater up too high because then it gets stuffy. All right. So there is, it has these seams here where that met. It's very kind of chunky on the back. So instead of going one way or the other, I just opened them. To be honest, I'll probably go ahead and find my acorn pen. Go ahead and run this and then press it. I absolutely love this stuff for those super bulky multi seams. So yeah, probably have to, I have the refill. I just got to find the pen. And then my 3 new favorites for these blocks. So I'm using my 6.5 Tula to square. I am using a 3.5 a lot. I am using my 2.5 a lot. I do have a 1.5, but nothing is really coming out to need that to be cut. It's coming out more so those 2.5 by 1s. Another favorite of mine is the 2.5 by 4.5. That's a fun one. And then I do have the Tula 4.5, which this is a whole little bundle. 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 12.5, I think it was. So those are some rulers I am using for these blocks. Nothing needed that's too large. And then I will go ahead and show you side by side. So that is number 4 of the book. That is her version. And this is my version with the help of my 7-year-old who totally, absolutely loved the raccoon. So why not? real quickly because I did find the pen applicator thingamajiggy. So this came as a duo set. My local quilt shop carries it. I'm pretty sure yours would too, or does. I know it came in a sew sampler box at some point. But anyways, love, love, love this stuff. You take this, you fill this. It has an applicator. It's wet. You can, I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if it's starch. I don't want to say it's starch. It just says, easy press a fabric treatment. Piece like an expert. Press seams precise and flat. In multiple languages. Non-toxic. Open this end to fill. It's called Easy Press Pen, made by Acorn. Product numbers AP10001. So, like I showed just a second ago, I took this, I ran it across where that open seam is. I just used, just like a marker, just went right across that, proceeded to press. I mean, look at the difference. Just a couple seconds ago, it was all wiggly and wobbly and all pokey, and so just wanted to show that real quickly. If I end up using it in a couple more blocks, I might show it again. That's just how it might end up being. But if I don't show it again, I at least know I showed it once. If you make it through this video, because seriously, I'm going to make 7 this month. I don't know if I'll run this video for all 7 or just go and highlight these 2 blocks and then put the pictures for the rest. You'll know by the time I get this done. It'll show you how long the video actually is, what I've decided to do. All right, I'll walk through this block as well. So I skipped through, what was that, 3 and 4. None of these I had marked previously. If I need to, I'll go back and pick some, but I'm already at 5 over the 70 needed. For this one, it's number 19. It is only 2 colors, so you'll see here she's not actually using a large print. She's using a solid and a small print, which I don't have any solids pulled out. I might have to pull some out. We'll see as we go through this. But in this case, I'm actually going to go ahead and break down a layer cake. Most layer cakes have doubles. The camera is shaking. Most layer cakes have doubles. So like this one only has 1 of that, but 2 of this. So that could be super fun as the print. Hold on, let's see. That could totally work as that print. But we can go through this. This is the homemade collection. Homemade or handmade? Homemade. It is a 42-piece 10-inch charm pack because this is free spirit, so it's not layer cake, which is a Moda title. I'm not seeing it. 2020. I was wondering what year that was. And that one is doubled, but the pieces are too big. I did try to measure them out. That one could work, but I'm not really worried about focusing on a fussy cut on this block. I do want to kind of follow what she did, where it is just a smaller, medium, all over background type of print. Something like that could work. And then find something that could be the solid, but not green. That won't. And so what I ended up coming up with, and I pulled them out of here. I really like these. It's a stitch print, 1/4 inch stitch. So I pulled this blue with the safety pins as the print, and I pulled the green stitch as the background. So it's going to end up looking like that on the pieces. That'll be my print. That'll be my background. So here is my block 3, with only the 2 colors and them being exactly the same block, just opposite. There wasn't really a need to show the color placements and my thought process on that. One thing I wanted to point out though was, since I cut them from the layer cake pieces, I was able to just stack the 2, proceed to cut what was needed, since they are identical, just in the 2 different colors. So that saved, where it calls for a total of 20 pieces, with them stacked like this, I just had to cut them half of that, right? Take the 1 cut with the 2 fabrics. I don't mind going through 2 pieces. I don't mind going through 3. 4 is kind of iffy. That's a lot of holding down and a lot of pressing with that rotary cutter. So 2 though, 2 I am quite comfortable with cutting at the same time. It's cute. It's cute. I mean, if that would have been a solid, then it would have represented the one in the book a little bit, you know, more. But I think that it works. The print is the big bold one, nice and dark, where she has that medium solid. I just have that medium stitch. So now we get to move on. Let's see what our next one's going to be. Our next one is going to be block number 20, which for me will be number 4. Try not to show those cutting instructions. Again, a print and a solid. So let's see what I get to dig through and find for this one. So for this block, I'm going to go ahead and use the layer cake, and probably have to find a jelly roll piece. In here though, it's going to need like a medium large, medium dark, and it's going to need something that reads solid. So I'm actually really digging that one. So I did pull that out. And I wasn't able to find a light in here that contrasted enough for me. This would have, but I'm really worried about using that grid on the little teeny weeny tiny pieces. So looking through the jelly rolls, you know, any of those. And so what I ended up doing was pulling this one out. So it'll be that for the block. Here we are, cut and placed. I just need to go build it. I'm really digging the blue in this block. So my block 4 of this month 7 is done. I do like the blue. I mean, if the green was a solid, it would pop more, but I think that it will work just fine go ahead and show you the comparison. So that was hers and that's mine. So my block 4 is her block number 20. I am not doing all 100. I'm only doing the 70, 75. So if you've stuck out this far along into the video, have you, let me know in the comments. Have you done this book, 100 Modern Quilt Blocks? Have you seen the book and been interested about it? Thumbed through it at the library? Let me know. I mean, I've had it, I want to say at least 5 years. I'm not seeing a year on it. Yeah, I'm not seeing a year anywhere. But I've had it, it's got to be 5 years or more. Maybe 5. But it's really neat. I mean, create a sampler quilt as unique as you are. She has a little fun part in the back where you can write about yourself, stick your own picture in it. She suggests, you know, coloring in it, sketching in it, and putting swatches in it. Oh, Tulip Pink City Sampler 2013. But it's really, it's a really neat book. I mean, they're all 6.5-inch blocks if you're okay with that. But it comes with multiple finished quilt patterns in the back after you've done your blocks. But she does talk about, I want to say there's a whole thing about like colors, the introduction. You'll notice in the following pages that the blocks are not named, but they are simply just numbered. This is intentional. I may have designed the blocks and given you the instructions on what to cut and where to stitch, but I have not infused the blocks with any meaning. This is your quilt. The fabrics that you choose, the colors that you use, and why you are making it are what will give the quilt a purpose. You can name the blocks. You can write in the margins. Cross out the ones you don't like. Draw hearts around the ones you love. So, I mean, it's an interactive book. You can go ahead, you know, you can name it. I don't want to show the sizes. You can sketch and color in the grids. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if you've made it this far into the video. What, you know, if you've have the book, made the book, want to make the book, are liking this process so far, and you're going to follow through with the rest of the videos that I create for the rest of the year. So here's my block 5, which is number 21. This one was kind of quick and easy to pick the fabrics for. By default, I had this little scrap. And then I went ahead and just pulled a high contrasting. So it's going to end up being that. And then to change this video up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and show the next one, which is block 6, number 23. On this one, I liked the focus. I liked the idea of a solid. But when I put mine up against the polka dot I had, I didn't like it as much. So I ended up with, I'm going to do this. That's my version. So let me get both of these sewn up and I'll be back. So here is my number 5. I mean, I'm guessing either she used her true colors. I'm not exactly sure what that's called. I have a charm pack. Let's see. No, it just says Tula Pink Designer Solids. So I'm wondering if maybe at some point that is what she used for her solids in this book. But all I have is a charm pack. So it's not enough to do this one. But I did go for the black. I think it works. And then the next one, I did the owls as the focus. And I actually really like how it looks now that it's been sewn. So when it gets finished, those two will look the same. I was able to use my 2.5. I cut one out and then brought the image on top of the next one, and I lined up the little dots, and I lined up in the leaf. So I was able to, well, actually, now that I'm looking at it, one of them's different. This one has a leaf on top. This one has a leaf on top. This one does not. Super odd. It does, but it has a different one. That's weird. I just noticed that. I hope that isn't noticeable later. But maybe he should be brought to the center since he is different. I'll have to think on that for a little bit. Right? Because he has the same as him, so he could come up here. And since he has a different, he would go down there. Why is that different if I fussy cut them? Oh, that's really going to bother me. But remember earlier in the video, if I sit there and I get too fussy about it, then it won't be as enjoyable. So that one's going to the side. That guy's going to the side. There it is, look. This one has the point, but I can't get him out of there. So that's what happened. Since I'm working with scraps, when I went to go cut that guy, he lined up on the dots and he lined up. But yeah, look at that. Interesting. Oh well. Again, if I'm too picky about it, then it's not as enjoyable. But I will be honest, if it drives me super duper crazy, I might just, that's a lot of unpicking, move him to the middle. Can you tell they're different? Like, seriously. I think the butterfly itself is exactly the same. It's just where it happened to land on her flowers, her foliage. Interesting. Of course, I don't catch it until it's on camera. All right, up next. How many am I at? Oh, I only got one more for the week, you guys. So last but not least, I have to cover that. Last but not least is number 7, which is number 25 in the book. This one's only 3 fabrics. Do a fabric pull. So for this one, I'm going to try to use Jelly Roll for this small floral. That's kind of fun. I wonder if I'd be able to. So I don't want to do a focus if it's not. I'm trying to stay how she's staying with her samples. And I really shouldn't worry about using too much purple or too much green because seriously, 70 blocks is a lot. Now, I will be honest, my happy colors are purple and green. But I'm kind of liking this one as that image. And if a cute little hamster gets in there, then that's fine. And for this one, I might actually be able to use the charm packs because there's 2 in each. So we need a lighter, and then we need a darker. That is almost exact. So maybe not liking that. What if we did lighter? Darker. Is that darker? Yeah, because that's almost. So that could be the dark green. That could be the light green. And that could be the image. I kind of like that. I like that it's pulling there. I like that it's pulling there. I'll work this last one up. I'm sure this video is super long by now. But if you're still here, thanks so much. All right, give me just a second. Let's get this cut and sewn. So here it is, cut and laid out. I think it's kind of cute. The pink's throwing me off just a little bit, but it is in there. There might have been one shade lighter, but I think it's okay. So we'll compare it to that is the original, and that's going to be mine. Alrighty, folks, here we go. The last one for this month. I'm doing 7 a month, which will be 70 in 10 months, give or take, because I have 5 extra. And even though Pat Sloan's going to have hers done by October, I believe, I'll probably run mine through the year. So here's my version of number 7, which is number 25 in the book. What do you think? I like it. It's cute. It's springy. It's different. So for a quick rundown, give me just a second here. Oops, sorry about that. Got stuck. I got, well, no, you can't see it too well on there. Mile first. My second. I'm going to be honest, you guys. Number 3 and number 4 are making me rethink my choices. I really didn't want to bring other fabrics into this, and I was trying really hard to use only hers. I don't think I can get all of these cuts out of a charm square. Definitely not that one. So, I don't know. Those 2 are kind of iffy. 5, 6, and 7. And again, no cohesiveness at all in this for me. I'm doing them just in her fabrics. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too boring for you. A like, a comment, a subscribe, a share. I respond to comments, so let me know if along the way you had any thoughts or any questions or any suggestions. Or alrighty, thanks so much. Come on back in February and we'll work up 7 more.